You're watching Fugitive Redeye, and welcome to another new series. I know I've got way too fucking many as it is. But the title of this one should be fairly self-explanatory. Redeye Recommends. It's where I recommend different channels that I recommend you check out. Now I'm doing this one in the style of a Redeye Raw, so it's just me unedited talking to the camera. That doesn't necessarily mean that'll stay the format of this series. I might do some heavily edited ones showing screenshots of the actual channel I'm talking about. Let me know if you guys would prefer that, or if you like this style. I'm also going to be uploading another video later tonight that is an actual edited video, so, I'm doing a little bit of both today. But today I'll be recommending anime channels, because I know a lot of you guys watch me for the anime stuff, so I thought I'd recommend some other anime channels that are definitely worth checking out. I've got 3 main channels here today that I'm going to talk about, and these are in no particular order. So the first one I'd like to talk about is the Anime Hero. The Anime Hero does a lot of Go Nagai content. That's how I found out about him. He does a lot of Devilman, Cutie Honey, Violence Jack, Mazinger Z, just Go Nagai in general. He's covered a lot of it. And I'd say besides myself, he's the person I know who's done the most Go Nagai content. I think I've probably done the most on YouTube, if I'm being perfectly honest, just because I've done, so many fucking videos on the subject. But other than myself, the Anime Hero's done a lot. And although he has quite a few subscribers, I still don't think he has enough. I think he's very underrated. He's also done a good chunk of Fist of the North Star content, and just manime content in general. He likes manly anime, and that's one thing I really like about him. He's done videos on JoJo, he's done videos on Kineku Man, he's done videos on Violence Jack, Fist of the North Star, Devilman. He does top 10s, he does in-depth breakdowns, he does reviews, he does various different things, so he's definitely worth checking out. I'd also say objectively, he's probably my favorite anime YouTube reviewer. These other two are also really up there, so it's hard to say. Although the third one's not really a traditional reviewer, but I'll get to him in a minute. But definitely check out the Anime Hero if you haven't. He's very underrated in my opinion, and in my opinion, he's my favorite anime YouTuber. Because I don't watch a lot of anime YouTubers, I don't really care for the content of, Mother's Basement, or, The Anime Man, or any of that. I'm not saying that they're bad, I just don't particularly care for their content. Whereas I really like the Anime Hero's content. The Anime Hero actually has 2 channels, Anime Hero and Manly Anime Hero. I'll link both in the description under his name. I'll also link the other 2 in the description once I get to them, of course, so there you go, that's the Anime Hero. I highly recommend checking him out. The second one I'd like to talk about today is Kenny Lauderdale. Kenny Lauderdale is incredibly underrated as well. Again, he has a decent amount of subscribers, but I think he deserves more. Kenny Lauderdale specializes in reviewing anime that you've definitely never fucking seen or heard of. He typically finds really obscure laserdiscs and VHSs of animes that have never been dubbed, never been subbed, never been released outside of Japan, never had a DVD release. He finds anime that are borderline lost and reviews them. There's one anime that he never thought he'd even be able to find, but a viewer let him borrow their copy. He typically goes for older anime, from the 80s or 90s. Sometimes older than that, but typically that's kind of his specialty. He's talked about things that I know I've never heard of. I would have never heard of Twinkle Nora Rock Me if he hadn't talked about it. He talks about a lot of magical girl stuff. He talks about a lot of mecha stuff. He talks about just obscure stuff in general. He really likes to talk about Sukebon stuff, so delinquent girls. I think those are an underrated genre too, and he gets really into those in general. He also has a second channel, which he's recently been uploading, clips and openings from, other obscure anime that I've never seen, so there you go, that's really cool. Definitely check out Kenny Lauderdale if you haven't. Alright, the third and final one we're going to talk about today isn't exactly like the others. In fact, it's kind of different for why I'm including him. But today we're really talking about Chisu. Chisu has a channel where he does abridgings of, old OVA series, where he abridges them with his own voice cast that he has. And they're pretty enjoyable. I really like what he does with those. But on top of that, he also runs the Go Nagai Wiki, which is a resource I have used a lot in my videos, and I appreciate the hell out of him for creating it. In addition to that, he also has his own review blog, which I've read quite a few of his reviews on that, and he has a very unique style he does with those. He does them from the point of view of someone who can't spell very well. He intentionally has all sorts of grammatical errors and stuff that he leaves in. He also writes the reviews down as he's watching the movie, and he also does not use the backspace key, so there's even more mistakes because of that. In addition to that, he always ends it with a crazy sequel idea. Even if it's a fucking biographical film, he ends it with a crazy sequel idea. He reviewed Hitchcock, and came up with an idea for Hitchcock 2. I'm not even kidding, he fucking did that. Chisu actually has very few subscribers. He has more than me, but he does not have enough, in my opinion. He's very underrated. More underrated than these first two. Like, these first two are very underrated, but Chisu has very few subscribers in comparison to them. Granted, I don't think comparing subscribers is necessarily, merit to what your content actually is, but I just think Chisu definitely deserves more support. And like I said, technically he has more subscribers than me, but I still think he deserves even more than that. I will be linking Chisu's channel, his Gonagai wiki, and his reviews all in the comments below, or in the description below. But yeah, those are the 3 anime channels I wanted to talk about today. I debated bringing a couple others in, but they also fall into other categories, so I'll save them for another episode of redeye Recommends. For instance, there's one guy that I'm going to talk about in the DVD channel video that I'm going to do next time. And again, do let me know if you want me to continue to do them in this style, or if you prefer a much more heavily edited screenshots on the screen one. But anyway, this has been Fugitive Redeye, and have a great rest of the day.